Rabbi Kaplan?
But here that it says in Mishtakel B'Keshes, we're talking about looking at other places where there's Ra. And over there finding the Tov over there. Over there, but you see Ra, the Ra is Ra. But the truth is, this leads us to the second point I want to say. That the difference is like this. When Rav Nachman said, "Azamelo Kai Ba'udi," to look for your Nekuda Tova, he meant what was left, the Tov that was left. That means a person started off Kulo Tov, and later on, the Aveir is covered up and covered the Tov. But now, always remember, there are certain Nekudas Tovas that were never covered up by the Ra, that the Ra never affected them. But when we're talking here, Mishtakel B'Keshes, we're talking about a different thing. We're talking about the place where there is the Ra, where the Ra was Sholit, where the Sultan is the king. Just imagine, there's a palace, and the Sultan is the king over there, and they're all worshiping him. Everybody comes to bring him presents and to pay him taxes. And inside that palace, to see maybe there's certain sparks, there's certain good sparks over there. No, that's not what Rav Nachman Breslover meant. He meant to look outside of that palace. Remember, even though this Sultan has a beautiful, powerful palace, but there's always a place where he didn't conquer yet. Remember that. Don't think just because and the world is like that. This is a tremendous, powerful marshal that I'm saying over here. And I saw it once in Reb Shimshon Pincus. He said, in the time of the Beis HaMikdash, Hashem was ruling over the world. And the Sultan was standing on the side. He was pushed to the side, and he tried, and there were ways that he crept in through certain cracks, through certain side streets, let's call it. But the ruler of the world, everybody knew Hashem rules the world. After the Churban Rachmana Litzlan, what happened is that the Sultan sits on the chair. He rules. Eretz Nitno B'Yad Rosha, I always say. You have said this, Pasuk. It's kilo what we see superficially.
Rabbi Kaplan, Rabbi, I believe he was punished for it, or Hashem didn't like that he said it. In Baba Basra Daf,
Hashem didn't like that he said it because you have love for Kar Al. But still, the reason is because Eve made it sound like there's yesh yush bolam. Eretz nitna b'yad Rosha, and there's nothing we can do about it. That's what Hashem wasn't happy about. But the truth is, Eretz was really nitna b'yad Rosha. But we have kochas to fight the Rosha. Brosi Eitzer Hara, Brosi Torah Tavlin Law. And that's what Eve didn't say. That part he didn't mention, and that's what Hashem didn't like. But...
Oh, Rabbi Kaplan, you remind me of what we used to see in my childhood. There used to be posters.
Yeah.
Shalach es ami. But they left out the last word, V'yavduni.
Right.
At the time of the word, so Zelu, good.
Yeah. So that means you always have to remember that there's Avodas Hashem. Now, this is what I'm saying. Reb Shimshon Pincus said that after the Churban, so the Sultan sits on the chair, he's the king in the palace, and everybody looks at it, looks at the world without thinking, without going deep. He sees he's the king, Kedusha, and Kirbas Hashem. That's something that's on the side, and it's forgotten by most people, by most of the world. But it's still there. And once you find it, once you find sparks of Kedusha, once you find a way to connect to Hashem, and you get involved in it. So then there's no end to where you could reach. There's no end to how much of the Ra you can break, because the Ra is only a dimion, as Reb Nachman Breslover said. It's a dimion. This whole palace with this whole kingdom, it's just imagination. It's not real. But that imagination is very powerful. And that's the matzah that we're in the Golus. But it's brought here in this sefer from Rabelio Weintraub brings B'Shem de Gro that there's a mistakel bekeshes that he goes into that palace where this Satan is sitting on this chair and ruling, and he's radiating Ruach HaTuma, which influences, preaches, Nus, Tuma, Taivas Moment, always looking to take, always looking to steal, always looking for ways that me, I'm the only one. Amalek is Rashi Tavis, Almanas Lekabo. And going into that palace and saying, ooh, true, it's all terrible, it's all evil, but look at what power he has. Look at all these rays of Tuma radiating with such strength. So let's take out that koach from there, strength. And let's use the koach of the energy that we see over there, let's use it for the good. That's already Roy Lo Shalo Bala. That's the Mistakel Bekeshes. Don't go in there. Don't look at what's going on there. Stay outside. Stay in the base medrash where the Satan doesn't rule. And know, as weak as you are, this is where the good, this is the place where the good was left in the world. That's a different thing. And that's the Nekuda Tova that Rav Nachman Bresler meant. So it's no steer. But I wanted to explain, why is it, what does it have to do with keshes? What does it have to do with a rainbow? I don't know. He doesn't bring where the grow is. I don't know where to look it up. And he doesn't bring the explanation what it means. But I would say on my own that what it means is that when Hashem makes a rainbow, it's a time that the world is in such a bad state that Hashem wanted to bring a mob on the world and destroy the world. So, but Hashem promised He's never going to bring a mob again, and it shows the keshes shows I'm not going to, that I'm controlling myself and not bringing a marble to the world. Comes out, the not bringing, the not destroying, that's the Nekuda Tova, which is in the Tuma, in the Ra that's here, that deserves destruction. Comes out that the keshes is mamish showing on the Tov that's gone was inside the Ra. The Tov is the not destroying, and that's in the Ra, which is forcing us yet to destroy the world. Somebody that's mistak on that, Roy Lo Shelo Bolo. Now, why is it Roy Lo Shelo Bolo? Because it's very, very dangerous. It sounds easy. It's easy to say these words. It sounds deep, and it sounds like mamish, you're connected to the Kapshi Rachmana, the secrets of Hashem, when you talk about these things. But being in this situation, and being, I mean, just imagine what it feels like when you go into that palace, and you're finding the good in it. It's like taking a magazine of pornography and turning the pages and looking at the pictures, and yet not letting the taiva overcome you even a little bit, and just saying, wow, look what the courage they have to show themselves like that, and just focus on that part. It's almost impossible to be in that place and to yet hold yourself and just focus on the Nekuda Tova. is coming in through his subconscious, and he's fooling himself that he's looking at the good and looking at the good. I mean, if this was Bemis the Chet of all the Gedolei Olam, Adam Marishan, when he ate from the Eitz Hadas, he thought that he's going to eat from the Eitz Hadas and still stay where he is. And the same thing, Shlomo HaMelech, when he married all the women, he thought he's going to stay as Shlomo HaMelech without pshitas and tmimus, and not then listening to the mitzvah of Hashem. He said without that he could also, and it was a mistake, and that's why he fell, and that's all the Gedolei Olam that had these thoughts. And there's the famous story of Yosef Dila Reiner. Did you ever hear it?
You could tell us again, Rabbi.
Well, the story was, it's a long story, but he did many, he wanted to bring Mashiach. He was in the very early time of the Rishonim, wanted to bring Mashiach, and he did many Tainesim and Sigufim. He did a lot of work. And then finally he managed, through Shemus HaKadoshim, to bring down the Sultan and his cat delay, and he tied them up with ropes, and he said he's bringing them to a place where he's going to shecht them. And they were crying and screaming, and in the end, in the last day, so when he was ready to destroy them, the Sultan and his entourage, so the Sultan, and he didn't want to give the Sultan not food and not drink. And the Sultan was begging and begging, and he didn't listen, and he held strong, and he didn't give him anything. In the end, towards the end, the Sultan said to him, okay, you don't want to give me anything to eat, at least give me to smell some tabak. So, give me a shmek tabak. So he took out his box of tabak, and he just gave him a little bit that you take in 2 fingers. And the Sultan took it to smell, and boom! He broke off all the chains, and he took this Rabbi Yosef, and he took him into his under his wing, and he became connected to the Sultan, and he went out L'Darbus Ra, and he lost everything. All the madrigas that he reached so high that he was able to conquer the Sultan himself. With one little shmek tabak, he was able to, he lost everything. And it was a slight mistake. He knew he's not supposed to give the Sultan anything. They thought such a small thing, so what? It's a tremendous limud for us. With one little thing, you let the Sultan in. You think you conquered him. You think you're bringing the Tikkun HaShalom and you're taking him to Har Seir and going to shecht him over there. He thought he's going to be Mekayim the Pozik, V'lo Moshim B'atzion Lishputus HaIsov. Nah, you see that with a small thing you could be nichsa and fall. That's the mistake of the mistakel bekeshes. He thinks he's looking at the good that's gone who's in the bed. The minmo, he's in the bed. His mind is in the ra. His mind is in a bad place, and you'll do it that wherever the mind is, that's where the whole person is. And that's what it means. I'm mistakel bekeshes. Says Royal Shalom Balalam. The greatest kilkulim come out of somebody that is mistakel bekeshes. And this was the mistake of Rav Kook, that to go to Chilonim and to say, oh, you know where your neshama comes from, a holy place. That made an impression on the Doros Haboim, that there's a place for the Chiloni world. There's a place for it in the Binyan Eretz Yisrael.
Rabbi Caplan, we're taking another break. Thank you.